edition rock and roll.
How's everybody doing today? It's the Chase Carter Concept Podcast for Saturday, July 10th. I think it's 10th, right? Yeah, it's my buddy's birthday. Benji, happy birthday, you ugly son of a bitch. I saw a stupid Instagram post. He went to Vegas for his weekend birthday celebration. Could you be any more basic? Could you just, hey, what could I do on my birthday that everybody does? I'm going to go to Las Vegas and dance in a club. That sounds great. Does everybody do it? Everybody does it. Do I want to have a unique experience that is different than other people? No, I don't. I want to do the same exact shit other people do. I want to pay waitresses to come bring me alcohol and in skimpy outfits and dance with me in the club. Because that's what rappers do. Gee, just go do something different, Ben. You can't swim? Take swimming lessons. Go skydiving. Go do, this sounds like all white people shit, actually. I don't know. I was going to say go camping. Your ass ain't going to go camping. I don't know. I really don't know, you know? I really don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it bothered me. It bothered me that you go to Vegas and you're sitting by a pool that you can't swim in and you're sharing videos. Look at this great pool I'm sitting beside. The only reason you're there, we know the reason you're there. We all know the reason. You can't swim. Why are you by a pool? You should be terrified. Don't go in the pool and try to swim. Okay? Don't do that. You don't need that embarrassment. Okay? I saw you in a pool once. It wasn't flattering. Your body or your swimming ability. Okay? I don't know why you would want to get by a pool and get shirtless anyway. You look like Play-Doh that's been left out in the sun too long. That's what your body looks like. It's just a flat cylinder. No body hair on it to speak of. But happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm very excited because I bought I bought a new basketball. I was very, very, very excited. A little too excited. See, I bought one on Amazon. I typed in men's indoor basketball. Oh, look at that. It's on sale. 20% off. Wilson Evolution. One of the most used, best basketballs out there. Purchase. I get it. I get it. And, you know, in the next 45 minutes, it shows up. Thanks, Amazon. I think it was a day and a half later. Seemed like 45 minutes. I'm feeling the ball. I'm grabbing it. I'm like, what is? And I haven't really, I was like, is this, because whenever you get a new ball, sometimes it feels different. It feels bigger or smaller. It just kind of feels, most of the time it feels smaller. I'm sitting there feeling it, and I'm like, I haven't played basketball in months, if not a year. I went to, shot around on like an outdoor court, but haven't really played. And so I'm like, what? Why does this feel weird? I get my old basketball. I'm looking at it. I bought a woman's basketball. I bought a woman's one. It was like 28.5 is the size, and the men's is 29 point something. And I'm sitting there thinking, why isn't this on the Amazon website itself? That's what I don't get. Why isn't it the first thing on the website? I want to look it up right now. Men's basketball, indoor basketball. I'm gonna do it again. Indoor. See if it comes up again. See, in a completely different ball. FC Evolution, indoor basketball. The Spalding Precision Advanced Eco Grip Composite. I don't need. Okay, first of all, when I'm buying a basketball, I don't want to think about the world. Okay, I don't want to think about the environment. The Wilson Evo Next NXT. See this? Yeah, right here. Wilson Evolution game ball. And it doesn't have the size on it, and it's 55.20. And then there's the actual, the men's one for $64.99, and that's the one I got. And, you can zoom. Oh, you can zoom in. Oh my god. Yeah, official is 29.5 in diameter, and then the youth's 27.5, and the intermediate, which is the women's ball, is 28.5. So it's just 27, 28, 29. Okay. That's what I thought. But I got the women's ball, and of course they can't call it a women's ball anymore because sex. Oh, and then I thought, I have a question. I have a simple question, and this is something I never thought of. There's multiple internet videos out there where NBA players, male NBA, well, because they're all men, NBA players are talking to WNBA players, and they're just spitballing ideas about how to make the WNBA game more entertaining, right? And my vote is put men in the game, but we're not going to do that, right? Even though gender isn't a thing, it's not real, right? So if gender is not real, then why are we separating sports by? Okay, you want to. If there's no difference between a man and a woman, then have all sports be, what's the word? Oh, you can't just have all the sports be, one gender. Everybody tries out. Each team has 15 roster spots. May the best person win. Do you want that late? There would be no women's sports, by the way, because that's what we had before. That's what the argument was like in the 1920s. Well, if the girls are good enough to play, then they can beat out the men. It's like, well, they can't. They can't. At the elite level, they can't. They can definitely beat me, for sure, but not LeBron James, not Michael Jordan. It was like, but anyways, why women always complain about fairness, equality. We want, equal representation. Why are there, less female CEO? Because you guys been in the business haven't been in the business as long as we have. So I think that's one of the reasons. And interests as well. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons. But because being a board member of a company, I would imagine, is boring as fuck and is not as life fulfilling as, being a nurse or being, a doctor, or just being a mother, I would say, would be way more entertaining than what's the spreadsheet? Well, this quarter we went down a little bit, so we gotta get it back. You gotta get it back in the black. So compared to having a child at home, I guess it would depend obviously on your personality too, because some people have children and then just go, I would rather do anything else on the planet. But most people are a mix. They want to work, and they also want to, raise kids. There's good things on both sides. Why am I blabbering on about this? I don't know. But why do women always complain about equality, right? Fairness. So when the NBA players mention to them, why don't you guys lower the rim to 9 feet so you guys can dunk and have more plays at the rim? There's more action going on around the rim. And they're like, oh, no. It's the same as the men. It's 10 feet, blah, 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 blah. It's the same. It's the same game. It's the same. Well, it's not the same game because in the WNBA, y'all use a smaller basketball. And that never gets brought up. The WNBA uses a 28.5 ball. But yet they bitch. It's not fair. It's not fair. You're using a smaller ball, so why isn't your field goal percentage higher? The rim is the same diameter. So you're using a smaller ball to fit into the same size rim, so it's easier for you to make shots, and you still can't make the shots as much as the guys do. That's weird. That never gets brought up. You don't hear NBA players complain about that, do you? Well, the reason she can shoot so well is because they're using a smaller ball. Easier to fit in the rim. I thought we want fairness here, ladies. Do you want equality, or do you just want whatever you want whenever you want? Oh, okay, got it. Like a spoiled little child. Okay, got it. You want everything the way you want it. It's okay. It's okay. We know. Shh, 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 shh. We get it. We get it. It's okay. You can have double standards and be a hypocrite. It's fine. Men have done it all the time. Welcome. Welcome. I want every advantage that men have, and then also every advantage that women. That's not how it works. Not how it works. You have the advantage. If you're attractive, you have an advantage there. If you're in shape, you have an advantage there. If you're fat, sometimes you're more funny. You have an advantage. I think if Chris Farley looked like The Rock, his comedic bits wouldn't hit the same way. He'd have to be funny like The Rock is funny. Couldn't believe I bought a girls' basketball, though. I was so disappointed. I was like, woo, basketball. Oh, no. And then I don't know if this is smart or not. Whenever there's a limited edition Xbox controller, no matter what limited edition it is, no matter what theme it is, it usually sells out. So there was a Space Jam controller for the Xbox, and I bought 10 of them. And so I'm going to hold on to them. And hopefully they all sell out, and then later they'll be hard to find, and I'll have a whole bunch of new ones. And that's what I'm excited about personally. But see, for right now, they're I think they're sold. Let me check on Amazon real quick. I think they're sold out on Amazon. Xbox Space Jam controller. I think they're sold out. Oh, well, maybe because if I spelled jam right, for some reason I didn't. See the Goon Squad one, the Cyberverse. See, #1 bestseller. Only 2 left in stock. So right now they're going for $107 on Amazon. And they came out and they were $69.99. But what's weird is there's there's that one really cool one. That one's going for $130 now, $150. But they're pretty cool. Like there's a Toon Squad one that looks all cartoony, and then there's a Cyberverse one that's black and it looks all like the circuit of a computer. And then there's a stupid Goon Squad one that they didn't put any effort into at all. Oh, we're gonna make it black and purple, and then have it gooey. That's all you're gonna do. You get paid millions, and that's all you have. 2 out of 3 is not bad though. 2 out of 3. I don't know why you would. We got to make a good team and a bad team. Just make a Monstars one, because that's all anybody cares about. Am I going to go see this? No, I'm not. Am I going to watch it on HBO when it comes out in a month? Yes, I am. Just so I can critique it and compare it to the original Space Jam, which is superior. It's way better. I don't even need to see it. Do you need to see it? I do. And I don't also. But it was just, I don't understand. The story, I went on, I think I did an entire podcast. I don't know when to use A or an. I did a big podcast, a long podcast, where I thought about a Space Jam sequel for 5 minutes, and it was already better than LeBron James and his son Dom go into a computer. That's not where the Toon Squad, the Toons live. They don't live in a computer. They don't get sucked into a computer. I don't get it. I don't understand. They sucked Michael Jordan down a golf hole because the aliens were invading from outer space, and they wanted to enslave the Toons, and you had to protect them. So the Toons had to come into the real world and take Michael Jordan to help save everybody. And Michael Jordan, with the help of a whole bunch of cartoon characters, beat Patrick Ewing, Muggsy Bogues, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, who was it? And Larry Johnson. And now they have Anthony Davis, Sue Bird. Sue Bird's a bad man. She who Klay Thompson. Who are the two Goon Squad? That is a Goon Squad. Space Jam Goon Squad. I want to see. From Sparks to Goon Squad transforms to Space Jam's new legacy. So it's not players who make up. Damian Lillard's on there. Damian Lillard is Kronos. Anthony Davis is the Brow. Oh, that's hilarious. NECA? Ogwumike is Arc NECA. So how many players are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5. So there's 2 women and 3 guys. Diana Taurasi. I thought it was Sue Bird. Sorry, my fault. Diana Taurasi. I heard somewhere it was Sue Bird, but maybe I'm apparently wrong. Klay Thompson is Wet Fire. Diana Taurasi is White Mamba. Kronos? I don't know what Kronos, because okay, so the Brow, obviously it has something to do with Anthony Davis's unibrow. Arcnicteca is some kind of, looks like some kind of spider fly, like, I don't know. I don't understand what, does she have good handles? How does that relate to her game? I don't understand that at all. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Diana Taurasi, the White Mamba, is that a callback to not Michael Jordan, but Kobe Bryant? I don't understand. And she's a snake character. So and basketball, by the way, you have to have legs because the rules, you can't slide around the court. That's traveling. Can't do it. So it doesn't make sense. And then Klay Thompson is Wet Fire. And it does look kind of cool. His body is made out, it looks like the ocean, the white foam on his body, and then he's also on fire. So that design actually looks kind of cool. Wet Fire. I wonder what Steph Curry thinks about him being in LeBron James's movie. Like, go get paid. Go get paid. I just don't understand. Like, what does Damian Lillard's game have to do with, like, he's a machine? Is that what it is? Like, I don't get it. The Brow, he's a bird. And like Anthony Davis has wings for arms. Why is he a bird? I don't understand. And then why is NECA a spider? It makes sense Klay Thompson is Wet Fire because those are terms related to shooting well. That makes sense. And he's a good shooter. But Diana Taurasi, the White Mamba, is because she's a really good female basketball player and she's white. And Kobe Bryant was Black Mamba and he's a good basketball player and he's black. So that kind of makes sense. Spider, unless someone can make, sense of that, dumb. The Brow has nothing to do with a bird. I've never heard the word brow be used in relation to a bird. Doesn't make any sense at all. And then Kronos, you can kind of say Damian Lillard is like a robot because he scores 30, damn near 30 a night. I want to see Monstars. Monstars. Space Jam. Because these guys were just normal, stupid names. Pound, Bang, Bumpkus, Blanco, Not. Yeah, these guys are just dumb names. Like dumb cartoon character names. Pound, who stole Charles Barkley's talent, was an overweight orange leader of the Monstars. I like how Michael Jordan put his friend in the movie and then made him an overweight, fat cartoon character. Bang, who stole Patrick Ewing's talent, is the Green's second in command. I didn't know there was a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy in everything. We have the systemic. Bumpkus, who stole Larry Johnson's talent, is the buff purple Monstar. Blanco, who stole Sean Bradley's talent, is the tall blue Monstar. And then Not, who stole Mugly Bogues' talent, is the short red monster. He is smart, hyperactive. He speaks in a high voice. Yeah. He's a baseball player. Looks like a basketball player to me. And then if the original bad guy doesn't show up, I forget his name, the guy from Moron Mountain, the boss guy. If he doesn't show, what? I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know if Bill Murray shows up. I don't want to know if Michael Jordan shows up. I don't want to know anything. Okay? So if Michael Jordan's not in this movie, and if he doesn't make fun of LeBron James, doesn't help out, I don't know what I'm going to do. Don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to criticize it. But the controller, the Xbox controller, awesome. Let's see. What news articles do we have today? We have some good ones. This goes to show you that men, we do, like, all you have to do is be a man and everything's equal. And if you're a man, doors get swung open. The whole world is at your fingertips, and it's so easy. So say you like a woman, right? And you're just a normal guy, just a normal everyday Joe. You like a woman, and then she's a single mom. She, just a normal single mom. Doesn't work, normal single mom. And then you find out that Drake has taken her to Dodger Stadium for dinner. It's like, oh, wow, he took her during a baseball game? No, he rented Dodger Stadium and had a private meal with this woman. This woman, extremely attractive, huge blowout ass. And I don't understand a way that this could be real. Any of that could be real. Upstairs and downstairs. Okay, looks borderline cartoonish. But Drake, he lives in the world of extremes, so the ass looks it looks like an allergic reaction. But somehow I'm still attracted to it. And this guy is Drake hangs out with LeBron, and this woman is the mother of one of LeBron James's son's teammates. So she's getting, could you, I don't know if she has dated normal guys before, but she is being taken and rented out a baseball stadium. And not just any baseball stadium. Dodger Stadium. That's insane. And there's a picture, some guy flew a helicopter over the stadium to take a picture of these two. So I guess word got out, and there's pictures of them both looking up into the sky, and it's a grainy picture. I'm like, just leave these two people alone. Just leave. This is hilarious, by the way, that Drake is doing. He rented out Dodger Stadium. And like as some sort of under the radar flex to this woman. And and who say, and some people say, and women, oh, no man will ever date me because I'm a single mom. They will. You have to look really good. You have to look really good and well put together. It's so difficult. I don't know who she is. I don't know her history. I don't know if her, past baby daddy is probably a sports athlete that, pays for all of her looks, let's say. But it's just, I couldn't imagine. Drake's like, oh, I got this great idea. Whew, how am I going to impress this woman? Because she's a mom. So I'm guessing she's an actual woman who looks like an Instagram model. She's not an Instagram model. She's got real life issues to deal with. Okay. And her son's a pretty good basketball player, I'm guessing. So she's done some things right. She's at the game cheering him on. She's present. So she's got at least, a good head on her shoulders. So it's like, how can I impress this? Oh, I take her out for dinner. No. She's not just some Instagram model. She's not just, some model in general or some actress. She's a mom who's also an Instagram model. You want to take her to Dodger Stadium for dinner? I do. Oh, it'll be fun. You can go. There'll be beers, food, partying, the baseball games. I don't want any of that. I want the stadium. The entire stadium. How expensive was that dinner? During a pandemic, this man is renting out Dodger Stadium so he can get laid. Now, he doesn't have to do this to get laid, but maybe for this one, he does. Maybe he just wanted to really go all out because you only get one life and might as well. And he can go back to his friends and be like, yeah, remember that one night I rented out Dodger Stadium? It'd be so funny if she still didn't put out the intent. Just, no, it's Dodger Stadium. It's not Yankee Stadium, though, is it? So, oh, renting out Dodger. I don't know how cool that is or how desperate that is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be on both sides. Like, you can't just go by personality. Like, if it depends on what his motivations are. If his motivations are just, oh, let's do some wild, crazy shit and have fun because I'm a millionaire, then that's fine. Then that makes sense. Not fine. It's fine either way. It doesn't matter why he's doing this. It's completely legal. He can do whatever the hell he wants to. He can rent Dodger Stadium out and go, streaking across the field if he wants to. Who cares? But if he has to, I don't know. If he was talking to her and he wasn't getting anywhere and she wasn't, vibing with all this stuff with him and at all, which he seems like an extremely charismatic guy. So I don't think that's the case. But if that was the case, and then he rented out Dodger Stadium just as a wow factor, that's kind of, but I don't think so. He seems way too smooth and calculated. But some women don't like that smooth and calculated type. It turns them off. Any kind of confidence sometimes turns women off. But maybe if you look this good and have confidence, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. That beard he has doesn't matter. I mean, I like the beard he has, so I can't. I mean, I'd probably put out if Drake took me to Dodger Stadium. I'm not going to lie. Big ho. Let's see, what other things we got here? Oh, this keep it in the realm of sports. There is a Jets QB. His name's Zach Wilson. His mom, I guess, thinks she's an Instagram influencer. So this is written by New York Post, so you know it's real. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson has begged his mom to shut down her Instagram account with more than 31,000 followers, but Lisa Wilson says she can't, or she can take the heat. In a video posted Friday, the rookie's mom revealed that her 21-year-old son has gone as far as to offer her money to take her account down, to take down her account in the wake of rising ridicule because he can't stand these people treating my mom like crap. Just don't go on Instagram. It's real. Like if back, 50 years ago, if you didn't want to read say you're some big time actress and you didn't want to actor or actress and you didn't want to read the negative reviews in the newspaper, you cannot read the newspaper. Now, if you have Instagram and you're not following your mom and people are criticizing you on there, and then that's a different story. That's completely different. But if you're on your mom's page looking through her comments, that's your fault. Quit looking at these. And who cares what idiots say on the internet? It's not real. The unfriendly messages have likely multiplied since she went back. She went on a critical rant criticizing the mask policy at Disney World back in May, which led to her temporarily making her account private. He says, "Mom, if it's about money, I'll give you the money." I said, "Zach, I don't need your money." This Instagram, and then she has this video that states, do you know how many people? She runs a lifestyle Instagram account. Do you know how many people's life I changed on a daily basis? And it's worth it. All the negative remarks are worth the handful of people who said, "Oh, I got in better shape because of you. You inspire me." Like what does she do? What does she do? She's the mom of an athlete. What is she? Did she start her own business and create something? Like who is? I mean, if anyone sees a random mom on Instagram and go, I can like, she's not in particularly great shape. I haven't seen any Instagram. I mean, she doesn't look bad. But it's just like, we're following and getting inspiration out of people who don't do anything. Like, are you a marathon runner? Are you an Olympic weightlifter? Are you a great public speaker? Are you an author? Did you write a book that changed people's lives? You really thought out, your good points. Like what did you do? Are you funny? Are you entertaining? Do you break down, sports and all of these things? Like what do you do? Oh, you're a mom of a 21-year-old son who just got drafted by the New York Jets? Oh, okay. That's it? I don't get. And then, kid, just stop. I know Instagram's your whole life. You 21-year-old millionaire. Pay somebody to slap the phone out of your hand anytime you try to go on Instagram. Have someone else run your Instagram account. Have your friends. Buy them a new Xbox. Buy them the new Call of Duty and Battlefield when it comes out. That's their payment. People will put their lives on hold to go live next to you for years until you ride this thing out. Trying to find other, I don't think there's any other video game news here, or sports news. Oh, this is interesting. Sports news. I'm going to shit on women again. It's so easy. And it's incredibly easy to shit on men too. But there is no men and women. Boston Herald. This is the women's soccer team, U.S. soccer team. It says Rapinoe, who's a player on the team, no victim. Her team earned more than men. So if you don't know this, the women's soccer team sued to get equal pay as the men because they said they weren't being paid like the men, and the men were getting paid more per game, per victory, all that stuff. What the women didn't, and so when you sue somebody, you have to release all of the documents that are pertinent to the case. What they didn't realize though is that they'll have access to their negotiating. They had to have known this. So when they negotiated their deal, their current deal that they have, their negotiation and what the other side offered and all that stuff would be public record. They were offered the same deal as the men and they turned it down. Turned it down flat. Didn't even negotiate with it. Do you know why they turned it down? Is because the men are getting the same deal. But the women, they wanted medical. They wanted full medical insurance benefits to cover anything that was wrong with him. The men, they don't have that because they're getting medical from their soccer teams that they play for professionally. So when they come over and they start negotiating with the United States Soccer League or whatever it is, the Olympic, I would guess the USA Soccer, they don't want medical. They don't want double medical. That doesn't make sense. And they're already getting top of the line medical treatment. So they're like, oh, just put all of the money that you have for bonuses. And then they offered the same deal to the women. The women don't have their women's league isn't as popular, so they don't get full medical from the women's league. I don't think there really is much of that at all. They're not getting paid from that. So they wanted full medical and then also as much as the men get paid. So you want more than the men. Is that what you're saying? You want more than the men. So where does that money come from? Are you generating more money than the men? I would say yes. But are you getting more eyeballs? I don't understand the deal, because you don't get the same benefit, the same amount of rewards as the men do when they don't have to deal with medical, and then you also get the medical. So you don't want equal payment. You want favorable treatment. You want them to pay you as much as the men on top of, and you want to get the medical on top of it. So you want more. So I don't get that argument at all. I was like, they turned it, and it's all legal documents. Players in the USA Women's National Soccer Team are paid more. Yeah, players on the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team are paid more than their counterparts on the men's team. But Megan Rapinoe isn't letting facts stand in her way of her PR campaign to pressure the United States Soccer Federation into increasing her salary. In March, the gold medalist and two-time World Cup champion complained to Congress and to President Joe Biden that she is a victim of pay discrimination. Later this month, she'll take her case to the Court of Public Opinion in a new documentary, LFG, that will begin streaming on HBO Max. Unfortunately for Rapinoe, the only court of law to rule on the matter found her claims wanting. In 2019, Rapinoe and her teammates sued the USSF in federal court in California, seeking more than $66 million in damages for alleged wage discrimination and discriminatory working conditions. The court found sufficient evidence to allow the players to proceed with their claims of unequal travel and hotel accommodations, medical support, training, and other support services. But it dismissed the players' claim of pay discrimination. So the court found that the training and travel and all that stuff wasn't equal. So they were right on that. But the whole equal pay thing, so when you say equal pay isn't the same as equal accommodations. You can say unequal treatment, but that's not what there's. Equal pay, equal play is the whole thing. Or equal play, equal pay. So finding that the women's team earned more than the men's team on both a cumulative and per game basis. So what they were saying was incorrect. It was lies. Lying. And using the whole, I'm a woman and I'm a victim. This is the type of shit that drive like reasonable people insane. They're already millionaires. And then they're complaining about equal pay. And then they sue a federation. And then when it comes out in court that they're just factually lying, nothing happens. They just, oh, well, victory, we got first class ticket, victory. It turns out the women's national soccer team earned approximately $24 million overall. The men's national team only earned $18 million. The average take per game was 220,000 for the women's national team compared to the men's 212,000 And while the individual female plaintiffs made an average of 11,000 to 17,000 per game, the fourth highest paid male players made an average of 10 to 13 million per game. So the average plaintiffs, female plaintiffs, which is an interesting word description. Doesn't make any sense. Like, were all the women in? I don't know. They could be hiding behind number there to support this article that women get paid more than men. I will go on the women's side. I will be devil's advocate because it says, and while the individual female plaintiffs made an average of 11 to 17,000 per game, the fourth highest male players. Yeah, that's a weird way to word it. The fourth highest paid male players made an average. What is the fourth highest male? I don't understand. What about the top guys? What about everybody? That's interesting. I don't know. I'm a little iffy about it. I'm on the women's side on that one. I think that's a little fishy. You're doing a little like Hollywood accounting kind of. Facts are stubborn things, and so Rapinoe and her teammates argued that even though they received more money than their male counterparts, they were nevertheless victims of discrimination. Why? Because they would have earned even more had they been paid under the men's pay structure, which offers higher bonuses. The collective bargaining agreement for the men's team is an incentive-based pay-to-play contract under which only players who are selected for training camps or particular competitions have a chance to earn bonuses. The court found that the women's team, in fact, rejected an offer to be paid under the same structure as the men, opting instead for a higher base pay and greater stability in the form of yearly salaries, paid irrespective of training camps attended or played games. So you didn't even need to go to training camp or play in the games. You didn't need to show up. You have basically guaranteed money regardless. And you're still complaining, women. This is why there are like chauvinist men out there. Because of these complaints right here. I think people just don't like each other just in general. Late last year, plaintiffs and the USSF settled the unequal working conditions portion of the case, and the federation agreeing to provide the female players with travel arrangements, hotel accommodation, staffing, and venues on par with the male athletes. Good for the women's team. They deserve it, and that should end the matter. In America today, however, victim status is the coin of the realm. And so Rapinoe and her merry band of warriors fight on. Addicted to fame, praised by celebrities such as Jamie Lee Curtis and politicians like President Kamala Harris. And feted Kamala Harris, chameleon, feted and by feted elites Hollywood and Washington alike. In April, the players appealed the trial court's pay discrimination ruling to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, pressuring the USSF to mediate the baseless claims ahead of the Summer Olympics in Japan. And earlier this month, 13 Democratic senators sponsored a bill to withhold federal funds from the 2026 FIFA World Cup unless the USSF increases pay for women's team. If enacted, Give Our Athletes Level Salary Act would prohibit funding for the USSF, FIFA, and for host cities and state or local organizations assisting with the event. So these women are taking money out of other people's pockets. And they're getting other Democratic senators to sponsor a bill that would take money away from other people trying to compete into the Olympics because of something that they got. They got the same amount as men and they turned it down. So this is just a vindictive, and so instead of, say, a divorce and the woman wanting half, she wants 2/3 now. You put me through hell. I want more than what I deserve. I want more. The vindictiveness of this. And you should be mad at them. Yes, they mistreated you for years, not giving you, accommodations. But were you also you were also millionaires? You were also millionaires. Okay. Got it. So I don't feel that bad for you. If you were poor in the streets and the gutters, had no other option, then I'd be like, okay, they need to pay you more than, but you're not though, right? You're not, you're not. So why are you pretending that you are? Stuff like this. Like there's certain times to complain and then there's other times you need to just shh. You can say things are, oh, that's interesting. Why would you pay me this and them that? You can have to ask questions, but to accuse somebody of something. There was one, I was listening to a podcast, and this comedian who obviously knows zero about basketball. And I know 1% about basketball. So he was talking about, what was it? It was white privilege, and then they were talking about how Steve Nash, the coach of the Nets, how it was his fault. He's a what was it? He's never coached. He didn't have the experience of coaching, and he's the reason the Nets lost the series against the Milwaukee Bucks. Basically insinuating he only got hired because he was white, not because he was one of the greatest point guards of all time, not because he had worked with Kevin Durant for a couple of years in Golden State and developed a good personal relationship with him. That doesn't matter, because what a coach has to do is have good relationships with his players and get them to play in the best way possible, which he was doing. In the entire season, they were injured and still played very well, still got a high seed, and were 1 inch away, Kevin Durant's toes, from beating the Milwaukee Bucks. And so he said playing Kevin Durant 48 minutes was a mistake. He was tired at the end. He missed one shot at the end. He airballed one shot, which was just a bad shot. He not a bad shot, but he just missed, because he made the same exact shot at the end of the fourth quarter, and everyone was praising him. So if it goes in, it's a good shot, and if it misses, it's a bad. No. Like, what are you talking about? You're missing on all facets of the game here. And even people like Stephen A. Smith, who said Steve Nash is a white privilege hire. What? Was Isaiah Thomas, who got a head coaching job without any experience, a black privilege hire? Was Jason Kidd, who's black, no coaching experience, head coach? Magic Johnson? When Larry Bird got hired, was he white privilege? Or did you understand that he was a great player and a great orchestrator of the game and got hired? So I don't understand that. You point to certain people. Why isn't Patrick Ewing got a job? Maybe because he's not that good. Maybe because he doesn't have personal relationships. Maybe he doesn't suck up to the people he needs to suck up to. That's part of your job description. It's the same reason people dress nice for job interviews. You don't go in there in pajamas. You want to present yourself in a certain way. Maybe Patrick Ewing doesn't care. I mean, he's got a head coaching job at Georgetown now. And that's because of his relationship with Georgetown, because he played there. Is that player privilege or black privilege? Like, what? If Steve Nash was me, then yes, you can make that argument. But not Steve Nash, one of the greatest, the orchestrator of one of the greatest offenses in the history of the NBA, which led to how basketball is played now, which led to the Golden State Warriors, which led to the Houston Rockets, which led to the Brooklyn Nets. I don't get it. People, like, same thing with the women complaining in soccer. You're complaining about something that doesn't make sense. The travel arrangements, yes, 100%. You have a point. You need to get paid. You need to get paid whatever you negotiate in your deal. And if you didn't negotiate that into your deal, like, because the men's soccer team and the women's soccer team are not one organization. They're two separate groups. And so if two separate groups are negotiating with the same people, you're not going to come out with the same like business deal. You're not. It's a business. You want to be paid fairly? You have to there is no fair. There's whatever you can negotiate. Like the soccer the USSF isn't going to give you all of their money. What? They want to give you the least amount of money to keep you happy while making the rest. That's business. I don't. And if you don't want to accept the deal, then you don't have to. You don't have to play for the. But see that the USSF has been there before you were born, and has built up this stage where they've got everybody together. They formed this. So it's like the UFC. They're the stage that you can put a fighter that no one's ever heard of on the UFC stage, and if they win, they're way more popular there. Like a 5-win fight streak, or 5-win fight streak. Yeah, 5-win streak, 5-fight win streak. But then if you fight in Bellator or bare knuckle fight, bare knuckle boxing, you're not going to get the same notoriety as the 5-win fight streak in UFC because of the platform. So you're going to be, more eyes are going to be on you. You're going to be able to make more money in sponsorships on the side, at least. More people are going to want to mess with you. Now, does that cover them as far as how much they give the fighters? No, because I heard somewhere between like 15%. Fighters get 15% of the revenue. That's how it splits up the money. Most of them. There are exceptions, but I'm just like, geez. So when you make a big difference in pay-per-view sales, then they'll pay you a lot more. But if you don't, if you just make kind of a little bit more than average, you're not going to get paid a whole bunch more. Like John Jones wanting damn near Conor McGregor money. It's like, dude, you don't pull in the same kind of money as Conor McGregor. So you shouldn't be getting paid millions upon millions of dollars. Okay, I've been complaining too much here. Let's read some news. That Rachel Nichols news, though, is very interesting because that audio was released a while ago. She was recorded, ESPN reporter, sideline reporter, white girl, has been working for years, wanted this NBA finals job, and they give it to, what's her name? Yeah, Malika Andrews took her, Maria Taylor. And ESPN did this because Maria Taylor is a good host, but they needed black people on the set. So it's like, hey, look, we're not racist. Look, everybody, don't come at us. And she has not been working at ESPN as long as Rachel Nichols. She's a former player. I believe she's a former player. It's like, I want to see what her history is. Basketball player. Or did she only play in college? She was a volleyball player after high school. Taylor went to the University of Georgia, where she played both basketball and volleyball. She began her career as a reporter. Oh, so she didn't even play professional. Very interesting. Maria Taylor married Rodney Blackstock at the Oceanfront Hilton company of friends and families. Maria and Rodney met way back in 2014. Rodney, however, was the one who approached her first. Exchange 8 months from that, Rodney proposed to her to get married. Then they went hiking in LA. She proposed for the first time. Who is? Education, school. She attended the high school. Maria's professional life was media. She knew nothing. The media knows nothing about the exact onset of Maria's career. At the present, Taylor, in her third season as a college analyst and reporter, she joined SEC Network in 2014. So she's had a pretty quick rise compared to, I would say, other people. Selling reporter Saturday night the same year. Orange Bowl. Including women's. Oh, she played in college. So she's not a professional player. Played in college. Good for her. But does she break down? I'd have to watch more of her and see if she actually breaks down the game from a college player's point of view. I wonder. I don't know much about it, but I know Rachel Nichols has been doing it for a whole bunch, and she said it was in her contract. I don't know. But then ESPN can do whatever they want to. They want to put 28 black people on stage. They can do it. So who cares? Like, Rachel, look, we decided to go with her for right now until all this stuff dies down. Okay? So we don't get canceled by everything. Our ratings are going down. We have to do something here. I just wonder what, I don't know. And then why can't they have two women hosting? Co-hosts. I don't understand. Have Maria Taylor talk about the actual game. Plays. Designing plays and stuff. I don't want to hear, and then have Rachel Nichols be the host. Who? Yeah. Real simple. And then have Jalen Rose. Like they had Maria Taylor, Jalen Rose, Adrian Wojnarowski, he leaks news. He's like a journalist, a reporter. So why is he there pre-game, halftime, and post-game? Like, Woj, we just need you if a story breaks. We don't need you breaking down the game. I wouldn't think. I don't know. I don't know about anything. But I gotta go to the bathroom. We're gonna end this podcast a little 2 or 3 minutes earlier. There was this one really cool story. This 51,000-year-old bone carving suggests Neanderthals were artists. And it's this, looks like a piece of wood. But it has these like carvings and they look like chevrons. Basically like the top of a mountain, a triangle without the bottom part. So they were carving and making art 51,000 years ago. And there's a parasitic fungi discovered growing out of the rectum of a 50 million year old fossilized ant. Yeah. So if you can imagine what shit was going around 50 million years ago. And the picture looks disgusting, but it looks like it was encased in amber. You can look that up. This is a funny story. A couple bulldozed 36 Joshua trees to build a home. Now they face $18,000 fine. You can't get rid of the Joshua trees, my boy. They're an endangered species, even though they're everywhere in the high desert. This is fascinating. Microsoft engineer stole 10 million by selling Xbox gift cards for Bitcoin. So this guy was hired what was he hired? He was an engineer, and he was hired to find glitches in the Microsoft system. So he found a glitch, but didn't tell the higher ups. And so he would create these gift cards and then he would sell them for like half price on the internet. He's made $10 million. Well, now he's in jail. I think he was ordered to pay like a $8 million fine. Yeah, obviously it didn't fly. Vashkov was sentenced to 9 years in prison, likely deported back to his home country of Ukraine, and will be charged restitution of $8.3 million. I'm afraid there's not a gift card in the world that'll cover that expense. He says, just wait a minute. I'll find a way. Don't worry. But he was living, I don't know where, like just $1 million. Just, make it small. Make it to 10 million. Like how much? You have to get in and get out. You know what I mean? You can't just keep doing this same thing over and over and over again. Because eventually someone's going to figure out that issue, that deal with it. Just, I don't know. Just, I'm rooting for the bad guy here. He was just printing money, basically. But anyways, that's been the July 10th edition of the Chase Carter Concept Podcast. I appreciate anyone for listening. Benji, happy birthday, you sorry bastard. Hope you had a good one. Thanks for listening again, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Big addition, rock and roll.